Hello, everyone. Welcome to another match of the Southeast Asia Taiko Championship. This time it's between Farmer Brown and Fuzzyuuka in the round of 48. These are the 31st and the 34th seeds, so we should expect a close match. Looking at the qualifier statistics as well, I think both of these players will even match. I think Farmer Brown might have a slight advantage when it comes to it. And Fuzzyuuka might have a certain record when it comes to speed, but given that this pool is easier than what we've had in the qualifier, I think at the end, all that matters is who plays better on the day. And that's what we're here to see. So Farmer Brown here going with the BP1 ban. A lot of sort of long, consistent patterns. I think that's very understandable if they try to ban this. And Fuzzyuuka, unfortunately for the UK enjoyers out there, does ban Hidden 1. But they also showed themselves to be a bit uncomfortable being hidden in the qualifier stage, so it's a bit understandable that they go for the hidden ban here. And now we have to see what map they pick. I'm honestly not sure myself what I go for, but it seems that the choice is made. It's going to be No One 2, Eternal, backed by Finn. So, considering that all things considered, we are in the early stage of the tournament, we shouldn't see anything too crazy at this point. But I think there are some 1/3 patterns and then some offbeat sections that I think might catch these two players off guard, especially if you haven't practiced this pick yet. I think you can already tell by the song how the map is going to go. And we'll have to see how well both of them can handle it. Both of these players here, I guess, a bit nervous. Farmer Brown is going to have to try to anticipate what's on the later parts of this map, and for Fuzzyuuka, well, hopefully they don't run into any tech issues, it seems. And we're going to jump straight into the map as the first pick of the match begins. Stalling here, Fuzzyuuka stumbling a little bit on the introduction here. Farmer Brown managing to hold an SS, but it's still very much early days. A few more notes come in, and Fuzzyuuka almost recovers nicely there, but I think they're hitting this section a bit too early, and so they're losing out on a lot of accuracy. And now there is an entire 5% accuracy lead for Farmer Brown, causing a 20k score advantage that, if this goes on, will only increase as the match continues. Both players, however, still both holding a full combo, so this can go in any direction. And as the first half of the map concludes, Farmer Brown does have a 4% accuracy advantage. Some of those offbeats and sudden 1/3 switches catching Fuzzyuuka off guard a bit, I have to say. And this sort of slow down bridge section handled well by both these players, but this score lead by Farmer Brown is not budging, and if both players continue to FC the remaining 1/3 of this map, that might just be the case. Another sudden 1/3 section, and the slider as well. If that takes you by surprise and you end up missing because you can't read the next notes, that is just the worst. But this score lead is just growing. Now it's 50,000 points favoring Farmer Brown here, and Fuzzyuuka being able to recover their accuracy a bit here, now up to 96%, but I fear it's going to be too late as we do go into the last few minutes of this map. The ending shouldn't be too crazy here, and that should solidify the first point for Farmer Brown with a 976,000 score. Congratulations as well to Fuzzyuuka for being able to hit that full combo, but unfortunately, their accuracy was not up to par to win the pick. One thing that I think should be noted as well was that was actually a breakpoint for Farmer Brown. Fuzzyuuka, I think, expecting maybe a better score off of the practice sessions they've had, and so this next pick for Farmer Brown is going to be quite important to decide how the match will go, because a consolidated breakpoint advantage might be the difference maker here. And yeah, you can't pick Hidden One. That's banned, yeah. And Farmer Brown here, clearly going in with a sort of hidden abuse strategy. Picked Hidden One, but unfortunately that's banned. So now we're going to have to go with Hidden 2. Hidden 2 Future Coaster, mapped by user Rinrin. So it is an Oni, and the OT is 5.5, so it's definitely not the most challenging in terms of accuracy, but what is going to be challenging, I think, are these sort of doublets and fourplets that I think you'd expect to find a lot with a song of this nature. Given that this is the pick to sort of test, I wouldn't say necessarily say fast, but more complex hidden reading, I think, is the more accurate term. If you're not comfortable playing hidden, you're not gonna have a good time, let's just say. And it seems that the map is going to start. So good luck, have fun to both of these players as we go right in to Future Coaster. And as we go into this intro, a lot of these isolated notes here going to be very tricky to hit if you don't get the timing right. And in fact, Farmer Brown is going to mess up the timing a bit, which gives a slight accuracy lead to Fuzzyuuka as they manage to, well, I was going to say manage to hold the SS, but now they've hit a great, still very solid accuracy going into the next section of the map here. Farmer Brown is going to have to push to make back this accuracy advantage, but a few grades and a miss from Fuzzyuuka is going to swing the lead in favor of Farmer Brown. A lot more of these doublet sections. Can they hold into a bit of a calmer part here? But Fuzzyuuka is at a disadvantage, so now they're going to have to be the one to climb back into the lead here. A slight break to recollect the timing. And now we go right back into the next Ki. More of these doublets. Both players about doing pretty well on the accuracy department, to be honest, but a big chain miss there from Fuzzyuuka further consolidates the lead from Farmer Brown, and it seems they're not really comfortable reading this section. Lots of these 2-plets and 4-plets, like I said, really tough if you're not comfortable with hidden, and that's another miss. Further catapulting the lead in favor of Farmer Brown, and now as we go into the ending, that's 200k point advantage for Farmer Brown. 98% accuracy, doing very well, and Fuzzyuuka tried their absolute best, but unfortunately that was not enough on this hidden 2, and the pick is going to go to Farmer Brown. 1,020,000 points, an 18 good FC. Amazing scenes we're having here. And so now the next pick here from Fuzzyuuka is going to be this Hard Rock 1. I think the strategy here is just to test the waters, because to see how the modded picks, especially how the modded picks will go. Because if this goes well for Fuzzyuuka, then they'd also have Hard Rock 2. And they might also have the free mods, but part of me says that Farmer Brown will try to hidden those, so we'll have to see how those go later on. But for now, let's focus on this Hard Rock 1 pick. Which, I'm going to be honest, when I tried it, it didn't really feel like a Hard Rock pick. 1.8 BPM, so there should be no problems with regards to the scroll speed. So this is all going to come down to being able to read the patterns and being able to have a good accuracy on this. And as we're going right into the third map of the match. As we can see the notes now, that's quite a relief. So those, I think those are 1/6 patterns, I'm guessing, are probably going to be the hard part of the map. But both players doing a good job having no misses, and in fact that's going to be Farmer Brown having a bit of trouble in the accuracy department, so that's going to give a slight lead to Fuzzyuuka as we exit the intro of the map. A lot of these doublets. Fuzzyuuka's going to have try to maintain a good accuracy if they want to maintain their lead on this pick. Hitting a bit more 100s, but nothing to give their lead over so far. And we're into the first ki. The density of the notes increases a bit, but the scroll speed is still pretty forgiving at this stage. So I have to imagine both Farmer Brown and Fuzzyuuka very comfortably reading this, but Fuzzyuuka consolidating their accuracy lead, going into the 98% department here. Oh, and that long pattern does not cause any problems for both of them. That's going to be still the accuracy lead going into the last third of the map. And Farmer Brown's going to have to solidify their nerves a bit if they want to make it. If they want to stand a chance at this comeback. As Fuzzyuuka is holding on to that accuracy as we go into the last ki. Hitting those last few finishers as well. And as we go into the ending, it looks even bleaker for Farmer Brown, unless... nothing goes wrong. We have, yet again, just like in the case of the first pick, both players hitting some pretty nice full combos, but in those cases, the accuracy is going to break the tie and give Fuzzyuuka their first point in the match. No sweep. And so now the ball is back in Farmer Brown's court. You would have to wonder what pick they go for, and it's going to be No Mod 1. So as for this No Mod 1, it's a pretty standard No Mod 1 consistency pick. I think skill cap wise, it's not too difficult from some of the other picks in this match, particularly when you compare it to maps like, let's say, DT1 or even No Mod 2. And with one of those maps being banned and the other already being played, this should pose an advantage or a disadvantage for either player in terms of skill cap. But what is the defining point of this pick is its length. It's 3 minutes long, and there are some multiple sort of types of patterning, multiple BPM switches that might catch both of these players off guard if they're not ready. And here we go, into No Mod 1. Reflect. Right there, that's a 100 to start the map, so that is the early accuracy lead for Fuzzyuuka. But it is still very much early days. Both of them very comfortable, and in fact, I think Farmer Brown has managed to catch up, and with that move from Fuzzyuuka will be able to secure the early lead going into what is the first ki. Oh, that long pattern. Both players hitting that nicely, but as we go into this first ki, with these doublets and fourplets, both of them holding on quite well, as they have to, Farmer Brown to try to secure the advantage, while Fuzzyuuka to try to maintain the comeback possibility. Going into a bit of a calmer section, but Farmer Brown slips up and makes a miss. Still has an accuracy advantage, but we might see the lead slowly go to Fuzzyuuka as we enter this 1/3 section. That transition might have tripped them up somehow. And so now they can see the accuracy lead to Fuzzyuuka here. Although it is slight, Fuzzyuuka does also have a combo advantage, and it's a break. Both players know their relative positions, and you have to think how it will affect their nerves as you go into the second half, and Fuzzyuuka misses! That catapults the lead right back into Farmer Brown, who has managed to get a bit of combo back. And it's not like that was an especially clean miss as well. Oh, a bit of instability on the accuracy as well. I have to wonder if maybe the nerves got to him somehow. Going into another calm section before what should be the last ki of this map. The lead can still switch sides at any time. Both players have managed to recover a decent amount of combo, but Farmer Brown does have that 1% accuracy advantage that is consolidating their lead here. And as we go into the ending, Fuzzyuuka, a bit of nerves there, unable to quite hold the accuracy. And unfortunately, that miss might just have put the nail in the coffin of this pick. And so that's going to be Nomad 1 going the way of Farmer Brown. One miss there in the middle, but managed to recover nicely with that accuracy, 99%. Fuzzyuuka's score also not too bad. 9 did manage to hit 900k, but point will have to go to Farmer Brown here. And Fuzzyuuka going straight into the free mod 2, which resurrection spell. Okay, so the thing about this map is that although it is a force mod pick, and so you are allowed to go for either hidden or hard rock. Okay, so like I said, like I was saying, you could go for hidden or hard rock. And I'm not exactly sure what Farmer Brown is referring to here, but I do agree that this map favors a certain mod, and we'll see if one of these players decides to show us why. Which might lead into Fuzzyuuka's logic for picking this actually, given the skills that they've demonstrated so far in this match. Yes, pick your don't fail, yes. And we go jump into this map. Bancho, we're already on free mod 2. Please switch Farmer Brown's map, thank you. But Fuzzyuuka here, going for hard rock, and Farmer Brown going for hidden, and I'm not sure if that was a Bancho miss, but they hit the first, or if they missed the first node of the map, and they're struggling to hit the intro of this map in hard rock, and that was what I was referring to actually. I think this map is quite hard rock favored, just because that intro is so tricky to play out, and that's a further miss going into the speed up. So although Fuzzyuuka also doesn't really have the best of accuracies, they're going to get a real lead off the combo advantage as we go into the proper section of the map, but they miss right back, and so the lead goes right back into Farmer Brown. At this scroll speed and this density, this should really be more comfortable for hidden compared to the intro. And another miss from Fuzzyuuka. That's going to put the lead in favor of Farmer Brown. struggling to hold this accuracy a bit here. This is, I guess it's the aspect where Hard Rock is at least slightly disadvantaged, is that you have to hit the notes more accurately because of that OD increase. As we go into an interlude section, Farmer Brown actually having recovered accuracy pretty nicely, now up to 98.25% from struggling to hit the intro, and that's another miss from Fuzzyuuka, just further widening the gap between them and Farmer Brown now. And missing on those 1/3s, going into one last Ki. Fuzzyuuka has the hold here. There's one last sliver of hope, especially considering... Oh, but another miss! And so here, there is one last speed change. So if Farmer Brown is going to make a mistake for Fuzzyuuka to capitalize on, it might be now. But they managed to hold right through it. And unfortunately, I think it is just too late as these finishers come in. And Farmer Brown does tank a miss there at the very end. But unfortunately, the damage has been done. 170k lead. 1 million point score for Farmer Brown will secure match point. Honestly, not a bad pick, all things considered, going into the... But I really feel like many players would agree this is the Hard Rock 3-1. And Farmer Brown's last pick, No Mod 3, Nyan Nyan Naughty Night, the speed No Mod of the pool. It is OD 5.5, so it is a bit less challenging, and it's a Muzukashi. So the patterns we're expecting are going to be a bit simple. We should only be mostly seeing mono 1/4 triplets at the very least. At the very worst, sorry. And I do have to note, I said at the start of the match that speed is actually slightly favored for Fuzzyuuka. So this is Farmer Brown, I think, just testing the waters, seeing how well they perform for a speed pick in match. And we're going to go right in to No Mod 3. Both players holding very good accuracies, a slight lead for Farmer Brown, as I think Fuzzyuuka had to pack 1 or 2 100s there. And as you go into these bridge sections, these finisher patterns actually a bit tricky. You might miss on them if you're not careful. And this accuracy lead is now non-existent as both of these players are tied, I believe. And now there's actually the accuracy lead for Fuzzyuuka. Farmer Brown managing to catch new undesirable 100s there, struggling a bit on the accuracy department, also having to hit the field these ones very late, but the miss from Fuzzyuuka might give Farmer Brown a chance in this match, the lead slowly slipping in their favor. Fuzzyuuka definitely does have the accuracy to make a comeback here, but that miss is definitely not going to help. As now a lead is starting to grow for Farmer Brown. And as we go into the last quarter of this map, this might spell the beginning of the end if both players play out this way, and yet another miss from Fuzzyuuka is going to hurt their attempt at a comeback here. Is there still enough time? Farmer Brown chugging along happily on this full combo. 98.3% accuracy climbing, meanwhile Fuzzyuuka catching yet another miss. Both players hitting that chain of finishers, but is that enough? And another miss from Fuzzyuuka will solidify the pick and the match for Farmer Brown. 29 grades, 98.2% accuracy. Both players with the same, but Fuzzyuuka catching one too many misses there will give the point for Farmer Brown. Good game and well played to both of these players. Unfortunately, that 1 point on Hard Rock 1 was all Fuzzyuuka managed to get, but still, definitely I would say put up a very good fight. Especially there were some picks that I think were very winnable for them, as Farmer Brown is the winner of this match, who will go into the winner's bracket next week, I think, to face Crab Cow, the number 2 seed who did receive a bye due to the format of the tournament. So that is going to be quite a rough matchup. And as for Fuzzyuuka, they're going to have to face the loser of Random Name and Astrid Park. Both also very formidable players. So it's going to be a tough road from here, but I definitely believe they have a shot at making it happen. So with that, that concludes this match. I think the main channel is actually playing a tiebreaker show match between Keeper Brian and Koishi. So if you're interested to check that out, I do encourage you to do so. Go give the viewers their shout out, and thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.